The Kenya Forest Service has begun training its staff to observe human rights during eviction of illegal occupants in forest land. Chief Conservator of Forest, Julius Kamau, challenged the rangers to work with communities and ensure the rights of citizens are observed during land reclamation exercises.
It is such scenes of inhumane evictions that the Kenya Forest Service is seeking to address. Scenes of families left out in cold, their houses demolished, and in some instances torched as government seeks to repossess forest land. Kenya Forest Service has now partnered with the Kenya Human Rights Commission to train KFS officers on the need to carry out humane evictions that do not violate the rights of illegal occupants. According to the Chief Conservator of Forest, Julius Kamau, there is need to infuse a human rights approach in the forest operation and conservation efforts.
It has been a journey, and therefore we started and we felt, as the two organizations, we need to form a joint team that can be able to help us, first of all, to create awareness, but also develop some tools that can help us as this nation to sustainably sustain and deepen the issues of human rights within our forest conservation. And therefore,
he pointed out they had reclaimed over 500,000 acres of forest land that had been grabbed by individuals and institutions without violence or abuse of rights.
And we did that in the full glare of the media. And there was no single incident of human rights violation from the forest rangers or any officials for an exercise that took more than 6 months. In fact, it is the Kenya Forest Service rangers who suffered from the community themselves. We had our rangers injured. They went to hospital.
KNCHR Head of Public Affairs and Communication Dominic Kabiru said they are working closely with KFS to end human rights abuses while protecting the ecosystem.
Initially, we used to work separately. Every time we get situations or cases of evictions from the forest, our work entails that we would like to go in and see whether any human rights violations have taken place. So that's why we are working now very closely, and we wish to thank the UNDP because they have come on board to support this venture, and also the Ministry of Environment and Forestry. So we are in it together.
Meanwhile, a team of researchers under the Building Research Capacity for Sustainable Water and Food Security in Dry Lands of Sub-Saharan Africa are calling for policy changes in order to boost food security.
At the very end of everything, we hope to have policies, specifically policies that are fine-tuned for particular areas or counties, for particular issues to do with maybe pastoralism, policies to do with issues of water use, policies to do issues like invasive species, which are ongoing issues. So at the end of the day, the policies which have got impact, policies that actually originate from the communities themselves and have been worked along with the scientists to come up with something that can be locked into their new counties.
In a stakeholders meeting, the researchers identified climate change as a major threat to sustainable agricultural practices. They pointed out rain-fed agriculture is no longer tenable, and there is need for government to find innovative ways for farming that will improve food security. For Channel 1 News, I am Emily K. Bade.